Welcome to SAS, short and sweet tips for the business sector from the Case Mastermind Group.
What I'd like to do is just talk about 3 key steps in the sales process, full stop. They happen to be 3 steps in what I train, but they're 3 steps that you, Patrick, and everybody else listening goes through when they make a decision to purchase. And if I can just give you a slightly kind of random selection of examples to make the point. So the 3 key steps, and I'll call them by their Sandler names, so excuse this for a moment, but it'll become clear what I mean in a second. They are pain, budget, and decision. So pain, budget, and decision. Those 3 steps precede any decision to purchase. And I'll give you an example. So I'm going to take a range from buying chewing gum through to buying, say, a smartphone, through to, I don't know, a house purchase. I'll take you through the 3 steps and see how they apply. So pain, what's pain? It's what a traditional salesperson would identify as need, but as I've already established in our previous conversation, need alone is not enough because it's an intellectual need. Actually, you've got to have personal pain to stimulate the decision to buy. So let's take chewing gum. What might the personal pain be? I'm not going to play this on you, it's take too long, but personal pain on chewing gum could well be that you've got a big meeting, you just need to freshen your breath. Okay, so actually, if you go into that meeting with your mouth feeling a bit kind of yuck, actually that's going to hit your confidence, and that's not going to be great. So you need to sort this out. There's something driving you to do this. Budgets, well, you got no loose change. You're at the newsagents, but luckily you've got one of those contactless cards, which you can just ping it and you can buy it. So that's your budget decision made. Of course, you might have not had the card or the change, in which case it falls apart, but that's step 2. Then decision, well, it's chewing gum. You don't have to talk to anybody else about that. You decide to do it on the basis that you've got the need, the pain, and the budget. Simple. Yeah. Take it on a little step further to a smartphone. Pain, you've dropped your smartphone in the bath. Your smartphone, if it's anything like mine, has your whole business on it. This is the only way people connect with me, is through my smartphone. I mean, everything, personal, professional, the whole lot. I need a new smartphone and I need it this afternoon. That is pain, proper pain. To the extent when those modern daylight robbers called Apple Inc. come along and share with you the price, something north of £1,000 for the latest 10, you don't even blink. You've got to have the phone, right? You will find the money. So that's the budget step, pretty simply taken care of. And what's the decision making? Well, the decision making in my household is that would act as that would be a capital purchase item in my business. My fellow director and I are agreed that we take those decisions jointly. So I would need to talk to her first before I signed off that expenditure, which I would do. Pain, budget, decision. Let's go into a household situation. You've got to move house. What's the pain? The pain is the children have grown up. And the house is too small and everyone's going bonkers. It's all very uncomfortable. Children unhappy, spouse, partners unhappy. It's all wrong. Lots of pain. Budget. Well, you go along to the mortgage broker and you sort that out. You make sure that the funds are going to be there, that you have got access to the funds, and actually they're going to be there to complete on the schedule that's required to get the powers. But you go through that process. Finally, decision making. In my case, it would be my wife and I making the original decision, but if the children were outgrowing, then the children themselves would have to be in line with that decision. And in fact, anybody else in a wider family and circle of friends who might be affected by a move of my family somewhere else, you would refer to them. Pain, budget, decision. Every single product that has ever been sold meets that pain, solves that pain. If it doesn't, it's not going to get bought. Has a budget, because if there's no budget, you're not going to be able to get it, and has a decision-making process that is in line with timing, scope, with the ability to get that product or service delivered in the timing that's required to meet the pain. Pain, budget, decision. Every single process does that. Now, what the traditional sales process does is ignore that, because what happens, they ignore that. They ignore the fact that everybody buys it that way. No, the salesman is going to do it his or her way. And the way the salesman does it is jumps on needs, not pain, presents, tries to close, does the presentation and the budget step all together, so loops it all in, so all out of sequence as to what the solution will be, and ends up with this kind of dog's dinner, really, of information, which is normally complete overload for the clients who, it's amazing that actually clients do actually say yes to it. A Sandler salesperson, she will have the conversation with the client, prospect, thinking ahead of myself, and will determine exactly what the requirement is. So what is the personal need to get this thing sorted? How committed are they? She will also, broad range, determine whether there is money and whether there is money that they're willing to spend. So willing and able to spend, okay? And then finally, she will determine what the decision-making process is. So there are no surprises at the end. How many times does the traditional salesperson get to the end of the line and the person they're selling to and have been selling to for some time says, do you know what, Patrick, if it was down to me, I'd say yes. And you go, down to you? What do you mean down to you? I thought it was down to you. Oh no, we haven't had that discussion. No, I've got to talk to the CFO. Yeah, sorry I didn't mention that. Right. Whereas a Sandler trained person, well before they've done the presentation, works out with the client completely in with their okayness exactly how the decision will be made. Not only the process, the people, but on the basis of what the decision will be made. So by the time you get to the presentation, what we call fulfillment, all you do is you say, we've identified these pains, 1, 2, 3. Our solution is A, B, C. We can do it at this budget within the predetermined range, and we can do it in the decision-making cycle that you need. What do you want to do next? You don't close. You don't ask for it. You don't give them an alternative. You just say to the prospect, what would you like to do next? And do you know what?
Okay.
The prospect just has everything at their fingertips to make their decision. And sometimes it's a no. But if you meet their pains at a price that's pre-agreed within a timescale that suits them in terms of decision, it's more likely to be a yes.
Yeah, no, that's really good. And I suppose in that, what you're basically doing is you're making sure that the ball is in their court, that they feel that they're in control. You've let them have the sense of feeling that this person is giving me the authority in this situation. They're not bullying me. They're not pushing me in a direction. They're now saying, giving the choice to me. So it puts them at ease, I'm sure.
It does.
Thank you for spending time with us today. This has been brought to you by the Case Mastermind Group. Please be sure to follow us in the links to this message. Please give your real, honest feedback on what you have just heard and share what you enjoyed or liked the best. We really do check the feedback that we receive. Please also share with your friends who you believe could benefit from it, just to show you care. To our listeners, remember, no matter where you are on the mountain of success, let's enjoy the journey together to the top. We will see you there, my friends.